What's up, guys? NFL on the blog version, December 22nd, get into week 16 now.
Yeah, week 16 it is.
So there are some Christmas Day games.
There's one Christmas Day game, and then there's 3 games on Boxing Day, which, with all the lockdowns, it's not going to be a usual Boxing Day, but it's going to be something different, especially here, again, depending on where you're living. Again, over here, Boxing Day shopping is going to be literally null and void.
Oh, yeah, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday game. We'll run through them all. You give the spreads, we'll make the picks.
Yeah. So Friday, we start off, and again, a Christmas Day game, which is, again, a rarity for the NFL. You have the Vikings, who are coming off a bad loss to the Bears, against the Saints, who are also coming off a loss to the Kansas City Chiefs. And the spread is New Orleans by 7. Now, Drew Brees is back. The Vikings are pretty much eliminated from playoff contention. The Saints need a win to try to clinch the division. I'm going to take the Saints in that game. The 7 seems about right. I will say that the Saints do cover that spread.
Give me the Vikings plus 7. Saints win, Vikings cover.
All right, fair enough. Getting into the Saturday games. First one, the GOAT, Tom Brady, and the Buccaneers take on the hapless Detroit Lions. Again, that game is in Detroit. Tampa by 9 points. Again, depending on Matt Stafford, he did play a lot against the Titans last week. If he's a go, that probably affects my prediction with the spread. If it's Chase Daniel,
I think Stafford should play. He played last week.
Busted rib. Well, he's got busted ribs. He literally was like a Saturday ad. They thought he wasn't going to go the entire time. Their season is done. Yeah. I don't know why you'd risk him out there. There's nothing to really play for. Either way, I think that secondary is atrocious. The run game is atrocious. I think Brady will have a field day, especially those receivers, because again, the 9 points is a lot, but I'm going to take that high-powered Tampa offense to really play through and win by a couple touchdowns.
Okay, I agree. I'm going to take Tampa. I have it at 8 on the score.
I have 9 over here on Yahoo Sports.
Okay.
8, 9,
same thing.
Doesn't really.
I got Tampa there too.
Tampa there. Second game here, you have the sort of hapless 49ers lost to Dallas last week, which was really rough.
Zeke was out. They still got
nailed by Tony Pollard. Really took over. And they play the Cardinals, who again, 49ers are 5-9. They're out of it. The Cardinals need a win. It's in Arizona. Kyler Murray looks like he's a little bit more healthy. I'm going to take, based off what I've seen, I got to take the Cardinals here. The spread is 4.5. I think that's a good spread. It is a division game, but the 49ers have been pretty hapless of late. Injuries to Mostert, who's out for the season. Mullins is just a disaster at quarterback. Can't be trusted in situations. Their big revelation has been Brandon Ayuk, who's been really good at wide receiver.
Yeah, first round pick, right?
He's been great. Debo is still probably injured. 4.5. I'm taking the Cardinals there and Kyler Murray to get the job done.
I like San Fran plus the 4. They haven't covered in a long time. I think that they might be able to win this game. Division game, not much of a home field advantage, obviously. I think that San Fran might even win this game. I'll take the 4 points.
All right, so that gets us through to the last game, which is a massive game that's going to be on Saturday night. You have the Dolphins and the Raiders. This, to me, is going to be a playoff eliminator because you have the Ravens making a real strong push.
Ravens look like they're going
to try to get through now. The Dolphins do hold that last playoff spot. They have a little bit of I think the Dolphins, they beat the Patriots last week. I believe they ended with the Bills. If I'm being the Raiders need to catch up in terms of the Ravens situation. So the spread right now is Dolphins 2.5. The Dolphins defense has been legit. I think it'll likely be your former quarterback, Marcus Mariota, in there.
He looked incredible. I'm sorry, I need to say it. Brandon Graham showed me texting about this during the game. He threw that bomb to is it Waller, the tight end.
Yes, phenomenal player.
And then the play before that was the other tight end that he threw a running dime between 2 corners or guys in the secondary coming in, fitted in a window. Incredible. I was like, who is this guy? Tennessee was there. I didn't see anything. I never liked him from when they drafted him. He wasn't a good quarterback. He was, not even really that mobile. I watched this game. He ran probably 60, 70 yards, throwing dimes. I was like, what's going on?
I was surprised. I actually, funny enough, when the car injury, because I was watching the game
the game's done
on Thursday night, I had totally forgot that he had signed with them. I thought it was Buffalo Bills legend Nathan Peterman of 6 interceptions fame. I was hoping it was Peterman.
That really would have been game over.
That would have really been game over, but he was phenomenal. So it'll likely be him because Carrs has that groin injury.
Yeah, it is going to be him.
Miami 2.5. The Miami defense has been legit. I'm going to say that, and they need this win because if they lose, the Ravens will take that spot because I think that the Ravens' schedule is pretty light. They have the Giants. They have the Giants, which again, the Giants need to win that game too to try to have any competition there.
Everybody needs to win.
I'm going to say that the Dolphins do win that game though, even though it's in LA. The Miami, LA again. The weather's not going to be a big deal. Miami's is 2.5 spread. It's in Vegas. Sorry, I shouldn't say LA. It's in Vegas. 3 points. I'll take Miami to win the game. They're the better team. The defense is better.
Beautiful. You don't know why? Because every week, even last week, I do my locks of the week, and I'm high on them, and I get killed in all my locks. My lock this week is going to be Vegas.
Okay? Oh, it's going to be Vegas.
My lock's Vegas, so let's do a little friendly wager. Okay. Big Mac combo sandwich from Tim Hortons. We'll do something. We don't have to talk about it right now. I love Vegas plus the 2.5. I think they're going to win the game. Whenever it's 2.5, I think they're going to win the game. Miami's been covering and winning way too many games. Like I thought that the Patriots should have beat them. I watched the second half of that game. Can't say I'm surprised. As in other scenarios in life, can't say I'm surprised, but disappointed in Cam Newton, just how bad he is.
And
he needs to retire. It's a joke. I know they have no weapons. Their defense, shout out to their defense. Half the team sat out for the COVID reasons.
That's why, again, as a Patriots fan, I didn't have much hope in terms of how they were going to play that game. So
we'll think about the wager's going to be something. It'll be a sandwich. I got Vegas. You got Miami.
Yeah, I think Miami, if they want to make the playoffs, they got to win that game. I think the defense has been legit.
I agree.
Again, going to the Sunday game. So that was actually the Sunday nighter. So let us get to
that was a Saturday
Falcons and Chiefs. Not much to go over there. The Falcons are out. They again blew another big lead to the Bucks and Brady.
We both have Chiefs minus 10.
Chiefs minus 11. Yeah. They haven't been great, but I think again it's one of those spots where Patrick Mahomes should really feast. It could be a legitimate 4-touchdown winning game. Again. If Julio Jones doesn't play, it's another problem there. Calvin Ridley's been good for Atlanta.
Very good.
Very good. But overall, like I said, in Kansas City, that'll probably be more of a blowout than anything. So next game up, surprisingly, the 1-10 Jets, who again covered a 17-point spread and won the game. They play the Cleveland Browns, who are on the cusp. I want to say on the cusp of making the playoffs for the first time in 15 years, I believe, or almost 20 years. The Jets got, again, maybe they caught the Rams napping last week. The Rams probably thought, you know what, it's going to be a cakewalk. I think the Browns did not know, and then they played a tough game against the Giants and did win out. The Browns want to try to have an opportunity to catch the Steelers. It's a 9.5 spread. I don't like that as again in New York, because again they have been playing reasonably well. I think
they've covered a lot of their games.
They've covered a lot of
Vegas, they almost beat them.
Again, they're playing for some pride. I will say that the Browns win the game, but that the Jets will probably cover the 9.5.
Okay, I got Browns minus 9 there.
Okay. It wasn't looking like it was going to be a huge game. Two good teams, but one team's fallen off the cliff. You have the 11-3 Steelers, who are coming off an embarrassing loss to the Bengals yesterday, and the Indianapolis Colts. Now the Colts are 10-4, the Steelers are 11-3. There's no current spread on this game. So
I have 1.5 for the Colts.
For the Colts,
yeah. Which
goes to show you how bad, considering the game is in Pittsburgh, how bad the Steelers have been playing. I think the Colts on defense are legit. They will give Ben Roethlisberger problems. They have enough weapons on offense. Jonathan Taylor's been a great rookie. T.Y. Hilton all of a sudden has come out of nowhere. I'm going to take the Colts there with confidence because I haven't seen anything out of the Steelers of late. And that'll really push the Steelers into a problem even in the division.
Which is crazy.
It looked like they were going to get the home
first
field.
Round bye.
Well, again,
Chiefs.
The Chiefs have only one team gets to bye this year.
Yeah, but when they were perfect, we thought so. 2-3 weeks ago.
They've fallen off a cliff. I don't think it's a short week. I don't think they have enough time to really get to their composure.
I got the Colts minus the 1.5.
Yeah. Trevor Lawrence sweepstake. You have the Jags at home to the Bears. The Bears under Mitch Trubisky have been adamantly much better. David Montgomery. Shout out to David Montgomery. Almost made the fantasy playoffs finals because of him. 4 weeks in a row, he's been the best running back. in the game. The Jaguars are atrocious. Gardner Minshew, nothing much to really say about that. The Bears should have a great defense. They should roll there. 7.5. Man, I'm gonna, based off what I've seen in the Bears I'm taking the Bears to win that game by 10 points at least. The offense is running the ball really well. The Jaguars struggle against the run. I'm taking the Bears by.
Could you imagine? You got the Bears by 7.5.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if the Jags take the handoff from Trevor Lawrence and then give it right back? I got the Jags plus the 7.5.
Minshew magic, you never know what that guy can pull off sometimes.
Now, there might be some shots fired, literal shots fired in the locker room in case they manage to blow that. But I think that Jacksonville's gonna Jacksonville surprisingly for a 1-14 team or whatever they are, their record against the spread was almost like 500 this year, which is incredible.
Really bad against they played the Packers quite well. Really bad against the Ravens last week though. I must say
they got killed by the Titans. Yeah, they got bad because now I feel like it's the end of the season, but for a team, like I said, that had one win, they've been in everything. They're not like the Jets.
And the Bears are still fighting for a playoff berth.
And their defense is still one of the best. I got Jags plus 7.5.
Let's see. So there's not a current spread on this one, but Ravens, Giants.
No spread there either. Yeah.
The Giants' defense is legit. The offense is not legit. They should have probably beaten Cleveland after watching the Sunday Nighter. Lamar Jackson's back to being Lamar Jackson. He's really gone great in the last
season.
Again, they had some COVID issues; those have been resolved. The defense has been pretty good.
You think 8 would be if we had to make up a spread, 8 or 9 seems like a good number?
I think that it would probably be 8 or 9. The Giants' defense is quite good. I would be a little bit concerned about that.
Cleveland didn't score many points this year.
And again, I think that the Ravens. Thing is that even if the Ravens score 20, I don't know if the Giants' offense can really match that. I think it's still going to be Colt McCoy. Daniel Jones is still injured. I'll take the Ravens to cover the spread, whoever ends up being.
Okay, let's make up 8 or 9.
8 or 9 there.
10, yeah. I'll say I agree with you.
In the battle of the behemoths, the 4-10 Texans against the 3-10 Bengals. I'm going to take as much
9 points for the Texans. That's still crazy.
Well, again, you look at am I expecting Ryan Finley turned into Michael Vick yesterday? Am I expecting that against the Texans this time around? I think the Bengals were motivated by a division game against the Steelers. It's always a heated rivalry. It's a bit of a letdown situation with the Texans. I think in overall, again, remember this is a team that Dallas beat 31-10 in Cincinnati just a week before the Steelers game. So they're not very good.
They can't score to save them.
They were motivated against there. This will be a letdown. I think that Deshaun Watson has enough going for him that they'll win the game at least by a touchdown. How much is that? 8 or 9? 9 will be. I would say that if it's 9, I'll take the Texans to win the game, but I'll take the Bengals to cover if it's that much.
Yeah, I'm looking at all these teams. I picked way too many favorites here. I know that there's not going to be that many teams winning, so I was thinking Cincy too, but I don't know. I'll change it. Give me Houston by the 8 or the 9.
So next up, going on the 4 o'clock games, you have the Chargers and the Broncos. 2 teams not fighting for much to play with. Again, Broncos have been injury ravaged all year. The Chargers, Justin Herbert's been a pretty good revelation.
That's my guy. I've said it, Dan Family. You know this. That's even when Burrow was there, since rookie year from the beginning. I love him.
He looks like he's going to be the rookie of the year. Either him or Justin Jefferson, the Minnesota Vikings wide receiver. Don't know the health of Keenan Allen or Austin Eckler. That's a bit of a problem.
Yeah, they have so many weapons though. Mike Williams.
Keenan Allen, buddy. I gotta say,
he let a lot of people down in
I'm upset at you, pal. You told me you're good to go to start me, and then you let me down with 2 points, and that literally pretty much cost me the week right from the beginning. But anyways, you did good things for me for the majority of the year. Anyways. It is a 3.5.
Hunter Henry's been good too.
Hunter Henry's been quite good, and again, Eckler, since he's come back, has been quite good as well.
Yeah.
I will take the Chargers 3.5. Now they're going to play for Denver. It's a division game. Usually they're close, but
same
3.5.
record.
3.5 are pretty much.
Is it 3.5 there?
3.5 for.
I have 3 here. 3.5. 3.5. That's fine. Yeah.
Next up, a huge game in terms of what can be happening in the NFC East. You have the Washington football team, who's actually been surprisingly really competitive and quite good.
Especially at home.
They have the Panthers, who probably won't play Christian McCaffrey because, again, they don't have something to play for. That Washington team defensively is legit. Shout out to Chase Young. He should be defensive rookie of the year. He's been phenomenal. It's a 2 points, but I'm a little concerned about Haskins against that defense. I think he passed for 50 passes last week, and he didn't even hit 300 yards, which is crazy. If it's Alex Smith, I'll have much more confidence in the situation. I'll still take. It's only a 2 point spread. I'll still take them at home because at the end of the day, I do believe that defense will keep it low scoring, and they'll make enough plays against the Panthers defense. So and they need to win. They win there. They're in the really again right in that pivotal spot to win the division and get a home game. And considering how well they played against Seattle, they may be a problem for somebody there.
I'm gonna go Carolina there. I know that they're not really like the better team or anything like that. I don't know. The spread to me is fishy as well. Washington's been really good even at home. I think that Carolina, like I said, when the spread's 2.5, essentially you're picking a winner.
I'll pick them, yeah. Well, again, I would think that that's more of a pick 'em because of the Haskins, that quarterback situation.
Yeah, and I do not trust Haskins. No mask at the strip club. That's a no for me, dog.
That was PG-13. Well,
that's what happened. That's a no for me. But
again, Haskins hasn't had.
Give me the Carolina Panthers plus 2.5.
Next, and again, still a possibility, depending on other results. You have the Philadelphia Eagles, who all of a sudden look like world beaters. They lost to the Cardinals, but played a really good game.
Yeah.
And the Dallas Cowboys, who, if everything goes their way, might still have a chance at the division.
5-9 Cowboys,
yes.
4-9-1 Eagles. 1.5 for I have 1.5 for Philly. Is that what you got?
I have 2 for Philly. Okay. I'm gonna take. I think that Jalen Hurts has been phenomenal.
He's been good. Yeah.
I think against that Dallas defense, which hasn't been very good, I will take that all day and take the 2 points because I think the Cowboys were able to do a lot of things against the 49ers, but I think the Eagles in a division game, they're a different team under Hurts. Wentz was terrible. Hurts has been phenomenal. He'll run on them. He'll do what Lamar Jackson did a couple weeks back, I think. He'll put up a lot of points, and I don't think the Dallas Cowboys with a hurt Zeke, I think the teams will be ready for Pollard and so forth. Now the Eagles secondary is a little bit sketch, but I will take
but their front seven's good.
Yes, I'll take the Eagles to cover the 2 points.
Jalen Hurts in 2 games started 3 touchdowns in the first game. Sorry, the second game, 1 in the first. No interceptions, which to me is the biggest factor when you're looking at Philly because Carson Wentz would either throw pick after pick, take a sack, fumble, strip sack, and you're like, okay, you're a terrible quarterback at this point due to injuries or whatever. We get it, but can you not turn the ball over? Point of what I'm getting at is Jalen Hurts at least is not turning the ball over.
No,
right?
He's fumbled a couple times, but it hasn't been lost fumbles.
Hasn't thrown an interception.
Yeah,
completion percentage is terrible. 24 for 44 last game. Before that, 17 for 30.
Tough defenses, though.
Yeah, but those are still bad. I know he's a rookie quarterback and all that. I do like what he's doing. I don't know. I feel like there's going to be a lot of people saying, give me Philly. It seems like it's too easy. Right?
Well,
based on how they're playing.
The Cowboys are on a 2-game winning streak, so the Cowboys are on a little bit of a.
They have a tiebreaker, I guess, as well, because Philly has a tie. I'm going to take Dallas plus the 1 or the 2. Yeah.
I mean, again, like
Jerry Jones might kill someone if they don't win this.
I mean, like I said, it depends on what you think of Andy Dalton. The D's been better. They've created a lot of fumbles and things along that nature.
Yeah.
I just think that they'll have a lot of problems dealing with Hurts and in that situation. Again, which most teams thought wasn't going to be. Well, again, it should have been the 10-4 Rams against the 10-4 Seahawks, but it ends up being the Seahawks now ahead of the division.
Yeah.
The spread's 1.5. The Rams lost Cam Akers. They're gonna have to go with Henderson. Akers is done for basically the rest of the season with at least for this week, at least with an injury. Man, I don't know what to say. I thought that they were playing great. It's a division game in Seattle. The Seattle D is still suspect quite a bit. But the Rams again should have a better D. Russell hasn't been playing all that well. It's a tough game to call.
We were just talking about this after.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that in Seattle, I will take the Cardinals. The Seahawks to win the game. It's 1.5. Just because again, the Rams might come off a little bit fierce in the division game, and they were embarrassed last week. But I think the Seahawks want to win that division, and again, being in Seattle, I will take the home team there because it is really a pick-em situation.
Week 10 at Rams, they lost 23-16 in Seattle.
Yes.
And I talked about that. I'll pull up the stat right now. DK Metcalf, what were his numbers in this game?
Very bad against Jalen Ramsey.
2 catches for 28 yards,
yes.
4 targets. That's what scares me. Before I looked at that, I'm thinking Seahawks. I don't know. And like I said, it's not you throw anybody against Jalen Ramsey. It's going to be a tough day for the quarterback and the wide receiver going
Howard
there.
And Jair Alexander's been very, very good all around the league.
So I'm looking around like who Seattle's going to make a play. We talked about Lockett, Carson's back.
Carson's back. You have Moore can make some plays. They have again. The thing is that Russ just hasn't been the same guy that he was early on. He started off on fire.
Yeah.
And whether it's the offensive line that has taken some hits, he's been bad. He's made a lot of suspect plays, a lot of interceptions that he usually does not make. He's had some rough. I would say the first 5 weeks he was definitely the MVP. The last I would say 11 or so he hasn't been as good.
If the Rams didn't get embarrassed to the Jets last week, I think this would be a much easier decision for me because I probably would have taken Seattle. Maybe it would have been 3 or 4 point spread. I'm still hesitant to make this pick, and I don't know if it'll make like my picks when I actually have to go to the Vegas window on the weekend. But I'll take Seattle for the 1 or the 2 points that it is because they need to win this game, which usually whenever a team needs to win they don't. But I'll take Seattle for whatever it's worth.
The Sunday nighter, my hapless Patriots.
Oh, I thought it was the Titans game.
No, is that the Sunday nighter?
Yeah, the Sunday nighter game's the Titans.
Oh, my apologies. It is the Titans game. The Monday nighter is that game. My apologies. Sorry about that. It is the Porco Titans, the Tennessee Titans, Joe's Tennessee Titans, against the Packers in Green Bay with the Packers getting 3.5. I made it clear. I think that the Packers are fool's gold in this situation. I don't trust the Tennessee defense because again of what I saw a couple weeks ago when Baker Mayfield really ravaged them, and then they did come back because they do have that kind of offense. I will take the Titans in the 3.5. I think it'll be a field goal game. Two very high-powered offenses against two suspect defenses. I think
I think Packers has a better defense, to be honest.
The Packers against the run are, I think, third last in the league. They're pretty terrible. You put that up against Derrick Henry, I'm a little afraid. Man, David Montgomery ran through them quite a bit a couple weeks back. And the Bears are much better. Sorry, the Titans are much better offensively than the Bears because they just have, Corey Davis, AJ Brown.
Corey Davis contract year, they did pick up his option.
Jonnu Smith. They have the options, and again, I think Tannehill's a better quarterback than Trubisky.
Yeah, than Trubisky.
And again, he's Tannehill I think I saw a stat the other day that Tannehill's last 12 games have actually been better than Patrick Mahomes in terms of yards, quarterback rating. The only thing that he hasn't really done as much are his yards and touchdowns. But in quarterback rating, he's done better.
31 touchdowns, 5 interceptions.
He's been
110 rating.
He doesn't give away the ball.
Aaron Rodgers, 40 touchdowns, 4 picks. That's incredible. 10 to 1 ratio.
And again, 10 to 1 ratio. And again, I'm not saying that Aaron isn't having a good year.
Probably the MVP. If Patrick Mahomes isn't the name Patrick Mahomes, he's probably the MVP.
I would say
because he's had a better year, I think, than Mahomes.
I don't know. I would still give it to Mahomes in that situation, but I think
Mahomes has looked bad in the last few weeks.
Well, like I said, this will be like I was stating before. I think that the Packers have benefited from a rather weak schedule throughout the majority of the year.
But look at Pittsburgh, who is in a weak division, and they're blowing games to teams that are 14-point dogs.
And I will give them the credit there. I think this will be a test. I think that the Titans' defense isn't a great defense, but I think that Derrick Henry is going to be a big problem on the run game. Don't be surprised if Henry goes for 200. I will not be surprised. I saw what Montgomery did to him. I think the Packers are weak. Jair Alexander is legit at corner. He'll give either I think Corey Davis or
who's going to guard
or AJ Brown are going to have struggles because I saw what he did to Robbie Anderson in the Panthers game. Jair Alexander is legit. Again, Robbie Anderson's a small little guy. Corey Davis and AJ Brown are big dudes. Yeah. Jair's going to have a bigger issue there. And again, if you it all depends on the Titans thing. I will take the Titans to cover the 3.5. I think it'll be a field goal game, and I could probably take them outright.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to take the Titans plus the 3.5. And I usually don't take the Titans. I took them last week against the Lions, which was a little closer than I thought. Thought it was going to be a backdoor cover. But Titans as the dogs here, like I said, I just think controlling the clock with Henry, and they have too many weapons on the outside. Now, I think as a thrower, Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback of all time. So I would not be surprised if they go in there and the Titans defense just, stabs themselves in the back and they just give up way too many points.
Devontae Adams, I think, I don't know what Carolina did. I don't know if it was the game. Devontae Adams had a
he
real
can't be
bad.
stopped, but he can't be stopped though. though, right?
Well, I mean, he had a really bad game last week, right? They didn't. He had like
7 receptions, 42 yards.
Yeah, that's a bad game. I don't know what the situation was there. Usually they feed him quite a bit more. Again,
Carolina drafted a corner and safety that are both really good.
The run game last week with Aaron Jones was quite good. So maybe that they just went away from him for a little while. He didn't have a great game whatsoever. Again, well, AJ Brown.
Jeremy Chin.
He's not Devontae Adams, but AJ Brown's
he is Devontae. He's getting slapped on. I've been getting slandered on Instagram.
He's a problem. Again, he's been injured with the ankle. He's had his injuries, but he's a problem. Again, he goes for it seems like every game.
He's running someone over.
Last week he didn't do it. He got a touchdown on a little 1-yarder, but usually he gets 40-yard touchdowns like no tomorrow. Corey Davis has been a good wide receiver.
For the first time in 4 years. Yeah, he's been great.
Okay.
Because they turned down his contract.
70-yarder. Again, he's getting opportunities.
Been great. Yeah.
So we're both on the Titans, and last but not least, my pitiful Patriots, the first time not making the playoffs in whatever amount of time. They are at home to the Buffalo Bills, 6.5 for Buffalo. Based off of being a division game and it being in New England, and the weather's going to be kind of rough, supposedly, I will take the Pats to cover that. Simply the fact that the Bills will probably win the game, but for some odd reason, Josh Allen does not play well against Bill Belichick level defenses. He had his worst game of the year against Bill this year. He somehow has a great strategy against Josh Allen.
He had a great strategy against rookie quarterbacks when he let me down against Tua last week. I was so pissed off.
Well, again, the Josh Herbert got 45-0, right? Like at the end of the day, Tua was one of the rare ones. And again, you look at some of the situations with the kicks and so forth. I mean, again, being
that's just betting football, man. Like if you're not gonna.
It's the reality is that again, if you told me the schedule, and again, I personally don't think the schedule in terms of again the Pats schedule, and I had this conversation with somebody off camera. One of other football individuals, the Pats had a terrible schedule. Like it was not
different than the Bills.
It was the Bills. The Bills schedule was around. I guess it was around the same with the Steelers and things along that nature. But the Bills played KC. Yeah, so they had similar schedules there. But because of it wasn't an easy schedule whatsoever, especially with the defensive guys.
What are we getting here, man? The Patriots are trash.
The Patriots are trash. The Patriots were bad. The running game was better with the offensive linemen. The defense missing all those starters wasn't as good.
Cam's their problem. The quarterback is their issue. I don't think they don't have the skill positions. Their wideouts are not great. I watched the game. Cam's been terrible for 4 years.
Jacoby Myers is the number one wide receiver. Julian Edelman's been injured almost the entire year. Nothing there.
All you need to do is watch Cam throw a football. I know they don't have star power. He can't throw a football.
Star power is an understatement.
No, I know. They have nothing. But that's also Bill's fault, and the team for not drafting good wide receivers for 10 years.
Bill's had a problem with the way he passed on DK Metcalf. He passed on a lot of guys. I hope not, but at the end of the day, the N'Keal Harry, which is they drafted.
He showed better signs recently.
But he's been a bust compared to the AJ Brown, all those guys. He would have been better off and so forth.
But this is his second or third year.
N'Keal Harry's is his second year.
Yeah, so AJ Brown is his rookie year.
Well,
DK Metcalf, they came the same year. It's your first year, right?
No, they've been around. AJ Brown was around last year.
No.
AJ Brown wasn't around last year.
They were both this year. First year, same team, same draft, both second round picks. AJ Brown first, DK Metcalf after, both second round.
Oh, these are rookie years?
These are rookie years.
No, DK was around. No, DK was around last year.
No, man.
So this is DK's first year?
They both played for Mississippi last year.
Oh, I thought it was under the impression. I gotta check that out.
Yeah, no, they both played
for Mississippi last year.
You check that out while I make my pick.
Okay.
Guys, New England screwed me over.
2 years.
Both guys 2 years?
Yeah, 2 years. Yeah, so
DK was in the year?
DK had 900 yards last year. This year so far he's got 1,223.
So it was the same draft. Okay.
I remember because AJ was great in the playoffs last year for the Titans.
That's right. Yes, and I was going to buy his jersey. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. I haven't eaten dinner yet, which is why I'm trying to wrap this up. I'm losing it. New England Patriots plus 6.5 or the 7, whatever it is. Bill's been covering a lot recently. New England has to go with some kind of pride division game at home. All those things you want to hear. Give me New England. And I'm assuming you're taking the Pats too?
I'm taking the Bills to win the game, and the Pats will probably cover the spread.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if New England wins the game.
I mean, I would because the Bills have a golden opportunity to get home field, and in Buffalo during the weather, you get that.
They're definitely going to try and
even in Lambeau. Like again, if the Packers are able to get that, it's going to be
for a throwing team.
Frozen tundra in Lambeau Field. If you get a team like a warm weather team coming in there, whoever they bring in, whether it's I guess Seattle's not warm weather, but if you get
they played each other last year in the playoffs too.
yeah, if you get the Rams in there or whatever it might be, the Rams will have a lot of problems in that cold weather coming from LA, playing in those kind of conditions.
Sure.
It's the Bills have an opportunity there. The home field throughout will probably give them the best opportunity to play the Chiefs in the conference finals. Who would have thought that at the end of the day?
I know.
The Buffalo Bills.
But then again, I argue with Adam all the time. Tennessee smacked Buffalo by like 20 points in that game,
and they were off the.
And they were in Buffalo from what I remember as well.
I think they were in Tennessee, but they hadn't played it because they were on COVID restrictions.
Yes, that's
and stuff, right.
Yeah,
I
Tennessee
think it was in Tennessee, but again, it was.
Either way, the game wasn't close.
They didn't get a
Give
practice
me
for
Tennessee
2
over
weeks.
the Bills any day of the week. So there's one game separating the two because Tennessee lost to Cincinnati. Anyways, guys, good luck on your picks. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. We'll get together for week 17 then.
We'll try to do
the
our
next
best.
one after that. Stay safe in the lockdown. Take care.